Hey everybody, NW Order for Life here with 7 Deadly Sins episode 11 review. Uh, this was really great because we had a fight with Bon and Meliodas. Previous episode, they've advanced in the tournament, so uh, their first fight in the tournament was against each other. So they're having the fight now in this episode, and Hauser has gone, back to the tournament just to watch their fight because he knows they're Seven Deadly Sin members now, and he's really anxious to see what their powers are. And they have this great like DBZ style fight where like the beginning of Dragon Ball Z where they just do like like the kind of disappear kind of thing, and fast movement, and then rapid punching and really strong power. And you see them get punched through the floor. They can't fall out of the ring, but apparently through the ring is fine. So they go like through the ring and smash in all these places. And Bond uses his power snatch, which he used previously in an episode where he took in the flashback, he used Snatch to take the weapon of, I believe it was the demon that was endangering the sacred forest or whatever. So he used Snatch in this episode to take Meliodas' power. Now, apparently, Meliodas' physical strength and agility, like endurance and everything, can be drained by Bond's power. So Snatch doesn't just take away weapons and physical objects, it takes away anything he wants. He can take whatever he wants. And it was really cool. And Meliodas was really going, all down. He was just pummeling Ban like crazy, and it wasn't doing nothing because Bond had was just slowly stealing his energy away while just regenerating and healing from all the stuff. And Ben got really destroyed. Like his arm was broken, his fingers were mangled, and like all uh, twisted and bent over, and his back was cracked, but he wouldn't go fall out of the ring, and he kept just regenerating and healing and going to perfectly normal until Meliodas ran out completely. And then we saw also a flashback of Meliodas as a holy knight first meeting Bond. Bond was captured apparently under the assumption that he burned down the fairy forest, and those are his charges. And they said in the flashback they tried to kill him like 30 times, like by beheading him and any kind of execution method you can think of. And no matter what they did to him, including beheading, Bond came back to life. So it was like, wow. And when he said he's immortal, he's really immortal if he can survive even without his head. And so they've tried everything, and he lived. And Meliodas was just like, all right, I'm going to take you out of this prison. And I guess Meliodas decided, well, if we can't kill him, we might as well let him join the Holy Knights or something to that effect. Um, and Meliodas knocked him right out of the prison. And Bond looked very similar to how he did a couple episodes ago when we saw him all, chained up and in prison. He had long facial hair, and he was he was just in regular regular cuffs on the wall or whatever, and he wouldn't leave the prison. But once Meliodas knocked him out, he was captivated by Meliodas' strength, and he left with him. And now in this fight again, Meliodas has all his energy sucked out of him, and Bond uses another ability called Physical Hunt, and Physical Hunt lets him use, I guess, all the physical strength that he got from Meliodas. And as Bond uses all of his power and goes into one shot, like everybody's like, "Oh my God, no!" Meliodas can't use full counter because full counter only works on magic or some kind of spatial, power, spatial powers or magic or whatever. And so he can't use full counter against Bond, and he's really weak. He can't move. And so you see Bond crush his whole fist into the thing, and Hauser's like, "Oh my God, he's going to kill his own teammate. What's going on?" And everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's going to die." Diane, King, they don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden, when the smoke clears from this gigantic fist of power onto, Bond describes it as his full strength combined with Meliodas' full strength, and Meliodas is the one standing tall after that attack, and he's just standing like, "Oh, look over there." And they look and they see like a building cracked, just split down the middle, whatever. And there's Bond like inside that building. Like you see all holes in his chest, and his face is all distorted, and like obviously he would be dead if he wasn't Bond. But and so he's way out of balance and he loses. But the amazing thing about that fight is that Meliodas, turned into or got this symbol on his head, on his forehead, and this dark symbol or whatever, and just completely they show what actually happened, or Diane explains what happened because she saw it with her eyes, is that Meliodas took the hole punch in his chest or whatever, but then he got that mark and he grabbed Bond's wrist, snapped his wrist, and then just punched him. And like with that one punch, Bond was destroyed. But he did it in such a fast speed that you couldn't see it unless you had like Diane's eyes, and when, it was in the smoke and everything, in the dust of the rubble. So it was pretty amazing. Everybody's shocked about that. Diane has a fight against. She has a fight against what's it called? Hauser, and Hauser tries to just use his wind powers or whatever, his I think rising cyclone he calls it. Tries to use those powers to get Diane out of the way, just to eliminate her that way. But Diane, basically swats away his powers, so Hauser has to get serious and try to use like tornadoes and makes the whole stage like and the tornado brings her all the way up to the top, and then she turns herself into like metal. So again, this must be part of her Earth creation powers or whatever, that the Giant Clan has. And she turns her body into metal and falls right on Hauser, knocks him out, or at least puts him down enough where she's declared the winner. And then she's kind of like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean to hurt you that bad," or whatever, because she don't know he's a holy knight. And yeah, and then she's kind of like giving him the cutesy face, winking at him, and he's blushing a little bit, even though he knows she's a 7 deadly sin or whatever. So that's pretty interesting. King is dying because, King was dying because in last episode, Meliodas was, or she was trying to get Meliodas to take advantage of her, and King was just like flipping out over it. But yeah, so, and that was that. And then we had Meliodas versus Cain. Cain was the old man from last episode. That was drunk. He is actually a former holy knight, and he's very old, and he knew Meliodas back in the day, and he was angry because he wants to know why Meliodas destroyed that kingdom, which we heard, I think it was Henderson talk about, or maybe it was Dreyfus talked about it, to Gil Thunder and Hauser, is that Meliodas destroyed a kingdom with his power alone. And so this guy is from that kingdom, and he's like, why, I came home and everybody was destroyed. Why? What happened? And he just kept throwing fireballs at Meliodas. And Meliodas took them. He took them without flinching, whatever. And then when the guy made a giant, huge fireball, he blocked it with his hand and used his spatial block power, full counter thing. And he basically told the guy, like, no, like, I didn't do it, I tried to save them, but I couldn't. That's my sin. My sin, like, they were destroyed because of my sin, but I wasn't directly responsible for it. Something towards that effect. And the guy cries in joy and thinks, "Oh, thank God, I didn't, want to believe that you did such a horrible thing, And that was pretty much it. And we have Jericho and Gilead on the way to where the tournament is, on these, flying beast, magical beast things, whatever they are. They're flying there, and Jericho is just excited to use her new powers, her new demonic powers to fight. So, and we also get a nice scene at the end with some green-haired guy, and he's talking with what looks to be like one of the 7 deadly sins, and I forget his name, but yeah, because they show a 7 deadly sins poster after they showed the guy, and it's his face on the poster. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it. That's the episode. The Bond and Meliodas fight was amazing. Meliodas versus Cain was pretty cool. It's great to see. The story is progressing really nicely. Can't wait to see what the new the new generation of Holy Knights ends up doing at the tournament, and what fights will take place. And Elizabeth is still small, and she's hiding in. The Hawk was actually able to make clothes for Elizabeth, like with cloth or whatever, which is weird. But yeah, so her sister is still looking for her, and things are happening. The plot's moving along. Lots of fights. The episode was great. Some nice backstory with Bon and Meliodas too. So I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's perfect, but it was pretty damn close to being perfect. So I really enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Tell me about Meliodas, Bon, and the new, if you're excited about the new generation of Holy Knights coming to fight or whatever, and let me know. And also please thumbs up the video if you like it, and subscribe for more videos in the future. I think I'm done with doing videos tonight. I'll probably do more videos tomorrow because I've got some more to catch up on, like a Kami Got Kills ending and another other stuff. I think maybe yeah, I think maybe Parasite too. But thanks, and have a nice night.